Whew, I am so glad that this has arrived into your experience because you are a healer. If this finds you, you are a healer. What is a healer? A healer is somebody who has integrated. It's also somebody who has learned to become whole within themselves. You've learned to become your own source of confidence, your own source of strength, your own source of validation, acceptance, and your own witness. It's like you are your own source of joy and you are whole. And it's happened through the most unexpected places. It's like you've blossomed through the most tumultuous times. That's when you really discovered your strength. And I'm seeing you as a sun. So a sun has certain souls in its orbit. And I'm speaking about you that are being called forth for that regenerative life force that you're able to offer. And it feels like it's coming through the form of, a plasma being who emits photons. Photons carry waves of information. And that information is a remembrance that you are also your own source of strength. But you're serving as a mirror and as a reminder. So I want to talk about Chiron today, and what if I told you that what hurt you the most is the same place that you carry your medicine? Because power is not forged through perfection, but it is forged through the things that you survived. So if a pain has kept following you around, I'm hearing from lifetime to lifetime, this is actually the love in which you withheld. And it could be because it leaves you feeling vulnerable or exposed to a certain degree. But power has been forged through the things that you have survived lifetime to lifetime. So what hurt you shaped you, but what shaped you armed you. And your scar is not a weakness, but instead it becomes a key to liberation for the souls that cross your path. A key to the way that you silently touch the lives of those around you. And a key to the way that healing flows through you as a conduit in a way that you may not even totally recognize right now. So the pain and the wound was not the end of your story, but instead it's a doorway. It's the doorway for you into a new life of what that looks like. So today we're going to talk about Chiron. I'm going to talk about where Chiron may be aspected in your chart as well. But I'm going to give you a rundown on Chiron, who is he, his history, give you a little illustrations and tell you the story of of this asteroid. And then we'll get into it and we'll do a reading for you. The wounded healer is an initiation archetype, and the myth of why Chiron is so different is because Chiron is not like the other centaurs. Most centaurs, they were wild and impulsive and chaotic and ruled by instinct, but Chiron was different. He was born from Saturn, which is Cronus, and the sea nymph 𝓚𝓪𝓚, a child of divine lineage, yet rejected at birth. His mother, horrified by his half-horse form, abandoned him. So Chiron's life begins with parental rejection, not belonging to his own kind, being too divine for the animal world, but too animal for the divine world. Already, he stands between realms. Later, Chiron is accidentally struck by a poisoned arrow dipped in hydra venom that's shot by Hercules. The wound doesn't kill him, and it does not heal him either, because Chiron is immortal and he cannot die, and he cannot fully heal. So what does he do? Well, he decides to study medicine, astronomy, alchemy, philosophy. He becomes the teacher of heroes, Achilles, Asclepius, and Jason. He cannot cure his own wound, but he can guide others through theirs. Eventually, unable to bear the pain, Chiron relinquishes immortality so that Prometheus can be freed. Chiron chooses sacrifice, and in doing so, he's placed among the stars. The wound becomes the constellation. And this is the essence of Chiron. The wound that cannot be erased becomes the medicine that cannot be replaced. Chiron is a multidimensional encounter. Chiron is not just your wound. Chiron is the frequency of the sacred injury, where you felt rejected, where you felt alien or misunderstood, or where you were wounded in a way that has shaped you permanently. But here's the teaching. Chiron is not here to close the wound. Chiron is here to transform your relationship with it. Your Chiron placement shows the fracture in your identity, the part of you that never felt fully safe, and the place where doubt is strongest. And simultaneously, the gift souls come to you for, and the medicine that you carry, the initiation that you are qualified to guide. Chiron energy does not heal through perfection, but instead it heals through presence. It's the quiet voice that tells you, I've been there. And that's why it's so ironic when we talk about Chiron. I always laugh around this wound because it's really interesting to understand that your deepest trauma is something that somebody resonates with. And Lotus Mind said this, right? She said, I don't just see you, but I feel you. This is about somebody coming to you for something very similar that you have also experienced. And there's no one more equipped to give advice or guidance or symbolize, okay, I've been where you are, I've gone through the things that you've gone through, but I've also come out the other side. And even though that wound may still be there, I can never take back the things that had happened or the things that had created that wound. I'm changing my relationship with it, because if I had not gone through it, then I wouldn't have the experience, the knowledge, and the wisdom to impart and share. And that's where the wound becomes a gateway into a form of enlightenment. From the outside perspective, what it's like to meet Chiron is meeting Chiron will feel like meeting someone who's half myth and half human. Someone who walks into a room quietly but somehow shifts its entire gravitational field. People will often say things like, I don't know why, but I told them things that I've never told anyone. Or they saw straight through me, and not in a scary way, but in a relieving way. Or I felt exposed but also safe at the same time. Chiron's aura is an energetic mirror, and when you stand near them, your unprocessed pain rises to the surface, but not because they provoke it, but because their presence harmonizes with the places in you where light wants to enter. Chiron doesn't speak much at first, they listen. Deeply, archetypally, like listening is a form of healing. To outsiders, meeting Chiron will feel like you're encountering someone ancient, someone who feels like a memory that you forgot rather than a stranger, and also someone who doesn't try to teach you, but whose very existence teaches you. They often feel out of place in ordinary environments because they carry the frequency of someone who has survived something that you can't quite name. There's an immediate recognition around, you're not from here. Well, not really, right? Me too. It's that kind of, I'm sure we've all had those encounters, and we definitely have that in this community. It's like, oh, I see you. It reminds me of the Spider-Man meme where there's all these different versions of the one source with many faces, and it's like, oh, it's kind of like another fractal of awareness that's conscious within itself in this system, and like consciousness has woken up and it's like, oh yeah, I see you. It's one of those moments. That's what this says. How Chiron sees life is Chiron has a vision of someone who's always standing between worlds. Chiron sees life through fractures, not as brokenness, but as entry points. To Chiron, wounds are portals, pain is a teacher, and suffering is not punishment. It is initiation. Imperfection is sacred architecture. So they do not fear the human experience. Instead, they study it in the way that mystics study scripture. Chiron sees humanity with extreme compassion, almost painfully so, because they'll notice things like trembling hands or somebody's breath that's interrupted the moment a person looks away because truth hit too hard. Or the way that someone apologizes for taking up space that they deserve to occupy. Chiron cannot ignore pain, even subtle pain. Yet, Chiron never pities anyone. Instead, their gaze says, this wound is the birthplace of your power. Chiron also has a strange relationship with time because they definitely feel older than their body. They live with a sense that every moment is temporary, and they often carry grief that isn't even theirs. It's ancestral, collective, or cosmic. Life to Chiron is not about triumph or perfection, it's about alchemy. The impact that Chiron has on others after they're gone is Chiron leaves a mark that doesn't fade. It grows. People realize only after Chiron leaves the wisdom in something that they said casually, or the medicine inside of their silence. The way being around them made healing feel inevitable. Chiron is one of those presences that becomes more powerful in memory than they ever were in person. They leave echo healings behind them, and someone remembers the way that Chiron listened, the moment they saw themselves through Chiron's eyes, and the comfort, the challenge, and the revelation. And suddenly, a wound they've carried for years begins shifting. Because Chiron's absence often triggers the very breakthroughs their presence was preparing someone for, like a person that finally leaves a relationship that they've outgrown, or somebody begins therapy, Maybe someone starts their spiritual awakening, or they finally cry after years of emotional numbness. Chiron's legacy, it's not dramatic, and it's not loud, but it's cellular. Chiron changes people's internal narratives, like I thought pain made me defective, into pain made me human, or I thought I was broken, into I was being reassembled. Maybe even I thought I was unlovable, into I was learning to love myself first. Chiron is the quiet catalyst whose healing continues long after they've stepped away. This is you. You is somebody who is sewn into the fabric of somebody's existence so seamlessly, and it's not even about the things you say, but the things that you don't say. It's not about the things that you do, but the things that you don't. It's not about the looks that you gave, but it's the looks that you didn't give, and a way that you just made someone feel so seen in that moment. That's what this is, and it continues to linger. It's like the echoes of you long after your departure in the physical. You're there. I'm hearing encoded into somebody's field as a memory marked in the historical timeline of remembrance. Chiron as a being is soft-spoken but deeply felt. It's an old soul kind of energy. He's gentle yet has piercing insights and carries both sorrow and serenity. The way that you'll impact those around you is that they'll feel exposed but understood because their wounds will rise to the surface, yet they'll feel compelled to be honest with not just you but themselves. And it will be the first time in their life where healing will actually feel possible. Chiron as a legacy and the way that you touch people is that they'll remember what they became after knowing you. You'll also inspire healing in them, just indirectly. You naturally influence lives in the people that you touch. Chiron is not a hero, but he is here to become a mirror that reveals to another individual that they are their own hero. So as he's learned to become his own source of strength through his pain, he also reminds another individual, right, another soul, that they also have that same potential within them. And that's a beautiful thing about Chiron. So you're leading by example in this area of your chart. We are going to break down Chiron. You can take a look at what sign this is manifested in and also the house. Chiron looks like this symbol right here. And I'm going to leave a URL link for your astro chart. You can take a look at your birth chart and where Chiron is placed in the sign, and also the house. If you know your birth time, that's going to give you just further details. So let's go ahead and get into it and see where Chiron is manifested for you in your life. If you have Chiron in Aries or the first house, this is the wound of existence. It's the wound of the I am. Often early in life, you would have experienced rejection for being too bold or too quiet, a sense of not being allowed to take up space or feeling fundamentally wrong in your own identity. There may have been moments where asserting yourself led to pain, and the shadow of this could be overcompensating with aggression or shrinking yourself into invisibility. The initiation for you is going to be learning that existence itself requires no permission. And the gift that you hold is that you'll become powerful guides for self-leadership and embodied courage. So you can look someone in the eye and remind them of who they are. Souls come to you for rebuilding in their own identity after humiliation, failure, or loss of confidence. Your medicine is courage that's born through self-doubt. If you have Chiron in Taurus or the second house, this is a wound around self-worth or identity. The wound for you is all around value. You would have experienced instability around money or resources, or felt that love was conditional, maybe even learned that survival required performance. There could be anxiety around security, body image, financial stability, and self-worth. The shadow for you is going to be clinging, scarcity mindset, or overworking in order to feel safe. The initiation is realizing that worth is inherent and not earned. The gift is that you'll help others rebuild after material or emotional loss. You'll also help others stabilize their nervous system during times of chaos. Souls will come to you during times of divorce or financial collapse, or where they're rebuilding their identity. Your medicine is grounded in reassurance. If you have Chiron in Gemini or the third house, this is a wound of the voice and the mind. It's a wound around being misunderstood. You could have had earlier experiences that could have included being silenced, being mocked for your intelligence or curiosity, and feeling mentally scattered or just not smart enough. The shadow is self-doubt in communication, over-explaining yourself, or withholding truth. And the initiation is trusting your own perception. The gift that you have is that you'll articulate what others cannot say, and will translate chaos into clarity. Souls will come to you for healing whenever they're feeling confused, silenced, or mentally fragmented. Your medicine is language as healing. This was the child that was told to be seen and not heard. If you have Chiron in Cancer or the 4th house, this is a wound around emotional safety. This is the archetype of the inner orphan. You could have been emotionally neglected, or there was a parent who was absent or perhaps unstable. There could have been a sense of never feeling fully protected. The shadow of this is going to be over nurturing others, as there could be a fear of abandonment, and you could experience emotional withdrawal. The initiation is going to be learning to reparent oneself. This is where you have to become your own mother, your own father, or your own guardian. The gift is that you'll create emotional sanctuaries, and people will feel safe crying around you or just bearing their soul. Souls will come to you during times of grief or family rupture, or where they're having an inner child awakening. Your medicine is unconditional presence. If you have Chiron in Leo or the 5th house, this is a wound around visibility. It's a wound around my light hurts people. You could have experienced early rejection for being expressive, dramatic, talented, or confident. And the shadow is going to be creative blocks, fear of being seen, and dimming your own brilliance. The initiation is realizing that visibility is not arrogance. And the gift is that you'll awaken creativity in others, and you'll also give them permission to shine. Souls come to you for healing when they're afraid of being judged for their gifts. Your medicine is radiant authenticity. It's only by shining your light that you give others unconscious permission to do the same. If you have Chiron in Virgo or the 6th house, this is a wound around imperfection. The wound is that I must fix myself. You could have experienced early conditioning that could have emphasized performance, cleanliness, responsibility, or being useful. There may have been body wounds around health crises or deep self-criticism. The shadow is perfectionism, anxiety, or obsessive fixing. The initiation becomes accepting humanity. The gift is that you'll become master healers. You'll see exactly what needs recalibration. Souls come to you for holistic healing or practical solutions and grounded recovery. Your medicine is compassion for imperfection. If you have Chiron in Libra or the 7th house, this wound is around love. The wound is going to be around relational imbalance. This is where you could have been betrayed, experienced codependency, or felt invisible in partnerships. And the shadow is going to be people-pleasing, fear of conflict, or losing yourself in love. The initiation becomes learning relational sovereignty, not losing yourself while in partnerships. The gift you have is that you'll teach conscious partnerships and you'll help others leave unhealthy dynamics. Souls will come to you when they're healing from heartbreak. Your medicine becomes a balanced love. If you have Chiron in Scorpio or 8th house, this is a wound around betrayal or power. This is the wound of the underworld. Your early life could have included themes of deep betrayal, emotional trauma, power struggles, or exposure to taboo themes. The shadow is going to be control issues or a fear of vulnerability, so you'll create this emotional armor. The initiation becomes learning to trust after devastation. The gift that you hold is that you'll guide others through trauma and shadow because you are fearless in dark conversations. Souls will come to you during dark nights of the soul. Your medicine is survival and transformation. If you have Chiron in Sagittarius or the 9th house, this is the wound of faith and it's a collapse of belief. You could have experienced things like religious trauma, ideological betrayal, or a worldview that shattered. The shadow becomes cynicism, restlessness, or overpreaching. The initiation is to build your own personal truth, and the gift that you hold is that you'll help others rebuild their faith after disillusionment. Souls come to you when they feel spiritually lost. So your medicine is evolved wisdom. If you have Chiron in Capricorn or the 10th house, this is the wound of authority and achievement. It's the wound of never feeling good enough. Earlier in life, you could have experienced high expectations, public failure, or shame around competence. The shadow is workaholism, fear of leadership, and over seriousness. Your initiation becomes leading through vulnerability, and your gift is that you'll mentor others through career collapse or public shame. Souls will come to you for healing during professional identity crises. Your medicine is resilient authority. If you have Chiron in Aquarius or the 11th house, this is the wound of alienation. This is the cosmic outsider. Earlier in life, you could have experienced social exclusion, feeling fundamentally different, or struggles fitting into groups. The shadow is detachment, isolation, or rebellion without purpose. Your initiation becomes finding your soul tribe, and the gift that you hold is that you'll create spaces for misfits. You'll normalize uniqueness, and souls will come to you when they feel alone in their differences. Your medicine is belonging without conformity. If you have Chiron in Pisces or the 12th house, this is the wound of disillusion, and it's the most subtle wound. Earlier in life, you could have experienced escapism, addiction patterns in your own lineage, or feeling spiritually overwhelmed. The shadow is victimhood, boundary collapsing, or spiritual bypassing. Your initiation is discernment and grounded mysticism. The gift that you hold is that you're a spiritual healer. You could do energy work, or you may be a dream interpreter. Souls will come to you when they feel lost between worlds. Your medicine is compassionate transcendence. So, I hope that you guys enjoyed the breakdown for the signs and the houses. They were just quick synopsises. I don't want to go too deep into it, but that should give you a general idea, especially when you put them together, of where that's being aspected. Now we're going to do a closing out message for you. I want to see, first of all, I kind of want to get a gateway of the light activation to see what the current theme in your life is. Because again, it does feel like you're being prepared for something, right? We have inner earth, laying foundations, base chakra, and strength and security. So again, you are becoming your own source. This is about the roots that allow you to anchor deeply into the earth while you're still connected to the higher realms with halls of learning. This talks about the astral realm, spirit guides, confirmation, and great lessons. I'm hearing 3, so let's go ahead and get 3. Let's see other theme. We also have Sword of Light, so divine protection, cutting the cords, and a breakthrough energy. Let's see what else you're experiencing. This is cutting the cords, especially when it comes to thought forms that have been reinforced generationally. These wounds are actually telling you what has been suppressed through generations. That's what I'm seeing this as. Okay, we also have Akashic Stargate. So this is literally the it's a wormhole energy, so it's a shortcut. This is about you becoming a walking portal for your ancestors, where you end up becoming the one that creates this point of divergence and shifts the trajectory for the one body of consciousness that is your lineage. And it's because you're expressing higher ways of thinking when it comes to your relationship to the wound. You're changing your emotional, I'm hearing vibrational input whenever you think about this wound, and you're seeing it as a gift. And that's changing the relationship that you have with yourself first and foremost, and also your position on this planet. So I'm seeing you as someone who's truly stepping into their power. I'm seeing everything connects to everything else. Let me go ahead and read Inner Earth for you first and foremost. I just want this to kind of be a free flow kind of style. So Inner Earth will go until my battery is pretty close to dying. So the base chakra is known as the root chakra, and it's found at the base of the spine and is the energy center that governs our connection to the physical world with all of its lessons. This card transports us to the energetic gateway that connects us to this planet and everything we have learned during our many lifetimes here. We are being given a powerful opportunity to root down and claim our right to be on the planet, to claim the truth that ultimately we are safe. In the image, there is a gateway below a giant tree. This realm is called the Underworld. This is the spiritual realm visited by shamans journeying to collect energies, meeting guardian beings, and reclaiming parts of their power or the power of others that have been left behind. So again, there's something that you're integrating. That's what it is to heal. You're integrating, and finally I'm hearing exercising and exhibiting, because I'm hearing like the exhibition of this. So there could be something that you're showcasing now when it comes to this. If you think about something being showcased, it's something being kind of like displayed or demonstrated. I'm also seeing being portrayed through your embodiment. That's what I'm seeing. And it's something that other people also view. When you think about things showcasing, they're also being observed and often admired, right? Because it's like a showcasing of like a gallery and the pieces of art. So there could be something that you've designed from that pain. There's something that you've created from it. Like it has become your muse in many ways. So it also says you're becoming fully aware of what you need in order to feel safe and fulfilled on this planet. So that's becoming your own source and your own sun while in this system, right? It's like you're anchoring source in the perspective of source in your relationship to yourself, in the relationship to your wounds, and seeing how that's a level of contrast that you are here to play with. Like this is a beautiful illusion that you've created for yourself, right? So why not play in it? That's what this is. It's like you're playing with the contrast, everything that not everything has to look like light for it to contain light. So even the shadow itself is made up from the same universal substance that creates everything else. So know that this is part of the divine plan for you to be incarnated upon planet Earth during this time. And although at times you may have felt unstable or that you have lost your way, you have been building up momentum to where it is that you are today. And that you're in a space to build powerful foundations, a space that you can lay out exactly what you need and who you need to be and what you need in order to flourish and grow. You have the opportunity to reclaim parts of yourself that you've buried deep within and reclaim gifts that you've abandoned. That's exactly what this is. Like the very heart that you have is the very place that your medicine also lies. So this is about alchemizing poison into medicine, something that could feel like poison to the ego because it's deeply uncomfortable, but it's also medicine to the soul's journey in the way that it exercises and transmutes it. This is about alchemy. Alchemy is saying, okay, how can I change my thought pattern to this? How can I change the way that I'm feeling about this? That will change the way that you experience. And I'm hearing express the wound itself, whether you're expressing that from the shadow aspect or your integration and your initiation aspect, right? There was an initiation from the shadow into the light for each one of these. So you have the opportunity to reclaim these parts of yourself. If you started any project or you're thinking about taking something up that you've had on hold, now's a perfect time. The seeds that you're planting are sending roots down into Mother Earth. You were held and you were supported. So there's something that you're being deeply supported with. Okay, again, this is like the roots. It's also your ancestors. So it's something that you're definitely being celebrated for. I'm seeing in the more subtle realms. Let me go ahead and read Sword of Light as well. This is a very powerful card. Again, you're holding the things that your ancestors couldn't, but you're finally putting down what they never felt safe to. And it's because you are bringing safety into your body. You're bringing safety into your nervous system, even by doing that thing that may feel uncomfortable. So, Sword of Light. You are a generational, I'm hearing blessing. You're a blessing. Let me see, where is Sword of Light? Okay, here we go. So, the Sword of Light is the main energetic tool for Archangel Michael, the Prince of Heaven. His name means he who is like God, and he is considered Source's right-hand man. He is the Archangel who has chosen to guide and protect all light workers. So this is even the fixed star on, not on Taurus, that's real. This is the fixed star 𝓪𝓻𝓪𝓷𝓬𝓮, okay? And 𝓪𝓻𝓪𝓷𝓬𝓮 holds you accountable. He breaks through the illusions, okay? And he's also a lucky star. It's almost like luck finds you, or good fortune finds you, when you begin to step into more of that luminescent existence and you recognize that you are the key and the door. Right? It's like you are the wound and also the one that heals it. Okay, so he is an archangel, and the Sword of Light has been pictured as both a sphere and a light and of light and a lightning bolt. Either way, it's a powerful symbol for truth and a spiritual power. Even though it's carried by Michael, it can be invoked by all those working in the light to help them move beyond blockages and limitations and to sever cords of fear. Joan the Arc invoked it when she was going into battle. When this card comes to you, know that it's confirmation that you're walking the path of light and responding to pre-incarnation soul contracts to make a difference on this planet. It's also a sign that you have the opportunity to sever connections to fear and limitations. Energetic cords bind us to situations, loved ones, and even the past, but you're in a transition now and detaching from unnecessary connections, dramas, and fears. Know that there will be a great severing at this time, and you might feel isolated for a moment as you'll be reconfiguring your circle of trust and moving into a life that is in greater alignment with your highest good. Know that the cords that bind you to loved ones and soul families will remain intact. It's only the lower vibrational connections that are being severed. Expect breakthroughs and doors of opportunity opening for you. If you feel strongly connected to Archangel Michael, know that his energy is with you now. Now, let's also take a look at Akashic Stargate. Again, this is essentially, it talks about space-time hacks, essentially, where you recognize that you are not just moving through time, but time is moving through you and experiencing itself through you. It gets to a point where consciousness is not something that's just localized in this vessel, but it's the very field that the vessel is moving through. That's what this is, okay? It's changing your perspective with on yourself, on your life, on the nature of existence. Okay, so it talks about, again, this is like a it's a stargate in our heart that connects us to the central lattice of consciousness. So that is the interconnected blueprint. It's the interconnected web. And it's an invisible one that we can't see with the human eyes, but we understand that everything connects to everything else. The Akashic Stargate transports us to a space where we are given the opportunity to make a decision to accelerate the realization of our own life purpose. And that's what this is. There's a purpose for everything. And once you remember what that why is and what your why is, then you can begin to organize your life around that. Okay, once consciousness becomes aware of itself and everything that has, why it's made up of the things that it is, it begins to behave very, very differently. I'm hearing it knows that it deserves a seat on the table. It knows that it walks upon this planet according to that divine essence. So that's a gateway. A stargate is a time matrix. It's a kinetic velocity generator. It's a gateway of passage where your galactic brothers and sisters beckon you to come and safely learn more about what your life on Earth could look like. So whenever the Akashic Stargate is presented to you, it's because you're at a critical point on your journey. You have the opportunity to move in a particular direction and you have to make a decision. This can feel overwhelming and you may be waiting for someone or something to make the decision for you, but you aren't here to walk a path that was set for you. You're here to walk a path that you've chosen. The next phase of your journey cannot unfold until you decide which way to go. Know that whatever direction you take and whatever decision you make, you'll always be on the right path, no matter how you get there, and you'll always end up in a similar space. Also know that purpose isn't about doing your duty, it's about living life and experiencing joy. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful with Akashic Stargate. Let me go ahead and get a message for you as well. I kind of want to take a look at the character with Chiron in my what are you experiencing around Chiron? Let me see. Oh, I'm seeing what other people are experiencing. Okay, what are you experiencing and how do other people experience you? We're gonna do that with the Magic of the Gathering card because it feels like a magical gathering. Okay, so for you, generosity. What did we start up, right? This card, okay, and the reason I'm kind of geeking out is that this card is literally about the sun. And what did I say? No way. Look at the base. Look at the base, right? Oh my gosh, my battery's dying. Look, the base is medicine. So your sun is medicine. You know how we open up the reading saying that your sun is, again, it's like a regenerative life force. It's medicinal. Like things that bring you a profound sense of joy are innately linked to the things that you're gifted at on a soul level. I'm hearing on a cellular level. Oh my gosh, and it's nourishing as well. Okay, so let me read Heloid for you, right? So the sun gives its energy and warmth to everyone equally without asking for anything in return. Let your light shine brightly for all those to see and know that your love cannot be exhausted. The reward of the joy is in expressing its name. Let me read 𝓘𝓪𝓭𝓪 for you. So it says, the sun gives its energy and warmth to everyone equally without asking for anything in return, because all the reward and the joy are in expressing its very nature. Let your light shine brightly for all those to see, and know that your love cannot be exhausted. Beware of miserableness, arrogance, or a belief in lack. Take a look at any persistent complaints that keep you powerless and stuck in victimhood. 𝓘𝓚oid is the god of the sun, proud, self-assured, and honorable. And then you have literal medicine at the base, right? So let me go ahead and read medicine for you. Again, this is like, how beautiful is it to be in the sun, right? I cannot wait to be in the sun again. I'm looking forward to that. It's like, to be in the sun is a blessing, and there's something around to be in the presence of the sun, you've become your own sun. It's just like you bring light to the most unexpected places. That's what this is. Medicine. It's time to create your own powerful medicine. Consciously combine ingredients, whether they are people, thoughts, ideas, or experiences. And remember, Chiron is a lot about the inner child, right? It's a lot of things that we adopt in this matrix as we move through it. And there's a part of you that's untouched by time and unaffected by what has occurred within your space-time travel continuum experiences. And that part of you desires to be liberated once again, okay? So explore different mixtures and blends and make a new life of your own creation. You get to choose to try something that excites you. Okay, so this is beautiful. And the lower octave of this is lichen inoculation in the poison is the cure. Right? If you are going through pain, watch how your mind and emotions react to it. What's the story that they are telling you? Like a snake shedding its skin, see how much of the story that you can let go. 𝓚𝓪𝓚 is the god of medicine and alchemy who holds the power of life and death. So regenerative life force. So beautiful. Let me go ahead and get a message for, I think that's it. Anything else? We'll just close out with taking a stand. There's something that you need to take a stand on. We also have the gateway with Cornoros, and then we have your true self. So there is an initiation that you're being called to go through, right? Taking a stand is about you really standing up for yourself, standing up for what it is that you're being called to do right now. The gateway is an initiation that you're going to move through, right? And then your true self is about taking off the mask and revealing more of your true self. And the true self is the higher self. It's the one that bridges the gap between who you truly are, which is a divine eternal being, and your trauma. Okay, it's like you're bridging that gap and realizing that you are not your trauma. You are the awareness behind it. So taking a stand, he utilizes it as the very tool or ingredient needed. So this is the gateway that you're moving through. The gateway to living a life you love is guarded by your fear. You must push past the fear and self-doubt to realize your own power and connect with your aliveness. So this is what you're taking a stand towards. If you find yourself daunted, make sure that you have people in your life who support you. Weed out those who keep you chained to fear or who keep you feeling powerless. Let's go ahead and find another one. Taking a stand. Here we go. Taking a stand is here. And it says, every life's path is a hero's journey where we must face fears and slay monsters. Every time we face a fear, we move past it. The fire of our truth burns brighter. Because of this, a warrior sees fear as an opportunity to reveal a deeper truth. When we lose touch with what matters, or we are trying to support something that we don't truly believe in, that's when the warrior loses their way. If you feel like you're fighting a lost cause, it's time to reevaluate what you're willing to take a stand for. Wow, and then again, then you have your true self. So there's something in which you're going to be unveiling. I feel like it's one of the cards in the back book. Here we go, your true self. How can we be authentic to ourselves? Every day there are many opportunities to show up as our true self, and that's about owning that wound, right? So And speak from our hearts without any pretense. It takes courage not to parrot what the herd is bleating. Be a light to yourself, and it's in becoming a light to yourself that you're also seen as one, and you also remind other fractals of awareness of the infinite potential that also lies within them. So wearing a mask can be a way that we get things, and it can also be a way that we avoid things. While wearing a mask can grant us short-term gains that are immediately satisfying, in the long term, they run the risk of building up a false persona or losing ourselves entirely. I'm gonna leave you that. I'm gonna love and leave you that, because I feel like that is so interesting just to leave off with. It's a bit of food for thought, right? So I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching this, this whole topic today. It was such a beautiful transmission. I really enjoyed myself, so I hope that you did. I hope that you found this insightful. I hope you learned something new about Chiron if you didn't know about Chiron. If you enjoyed this message, make sure to leave a thumbs up down below. It lets me know that you want to see more, I guess, topics like this. And if you have any other suggestions, please comment down below. Please comment and let me know what Chiron placement you have, how this has been aspected. Has this rang true for you? I'm hearing. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and have stumbled upon this along your space-time travel experience, welcome to the Sacred World Line Collision. Do consider subscribing. We'd love to have you around. Personal reading details are also down below. I do have a limited window before I go away again. And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on the community page on the dates of when that may be and when I bring them back. But yeah, I'm gonna love and leave you right there. If you're looking for some high quality AAA grade gemstones, take a look at Otter Spirit. They're a small family owned business that handcraft these beautiful gemstones, and $1 of the proceeds are donated towards otter sanctuaries. So you have lots of options there. You have 2 discount codes in the description box. I don't know if I said that. And I'm gonna go. Until next time, bye!